Right guys, we're a little bit late tonight, so apologies for that one. I'm your host Craig and you are very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda. As always, this is your show, so you let me know the topics that you want to talk about. Obviously the Reds have a massive game coming up tomorrow at home to Cardiff. I don't know why, but all week when I've been thinking of Neil Warnock, I've assumed it's Crystal Palace. I don't know why. I must be a fucking dinosaur or something, but in my head I'm just associating Neil Warnock could be the manager of Crystal Palace, and it won't go. All week when I've been typing things out or getting ready for the streams, I've been playing Liverpool versus, and I'm about to write Crystal Palace preview every single fucking time. That's how far behind I am on this one. Mickey, how are you, sir? Great to have you in with us. I've got a little bit of an agenda to get through tonight. I want to talk about the team selection for tomorrow. I want to have a chat about midfield. I want to have a chat about the manager. We'll go through the press conference today as well. And a few other little bits and pieces. There was something around FIFA that I wanted to talk about. The Spanish League. A few other bits and pieces. You know, guys. You get a good mix in here. I could be talking about one thing 1 minute and 5 minutes down the road we could be talking about fucking hair curlers or something. I say hair curlers because they're probably the most unlikely thing this bald Irish twat is going to talk about. Mickey's in, Ferno, Nathan, Paul, Tom, Louis. How are you guys? Great to have you with me tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm so looking forward to tomorrow. It doesn't seem that long since the Reds have been playing already. I mean, Tuesday, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't even remember what day. I was fucking home from holidays now. Liverpool played Wednesday, apologies. So Liverpool played Wednesday, and here we are on the eve of another game tomorrow at home against Cardiff City. Look, I put it in the suggestion when we started it. It should be a handy 3 points for the Reds tomorrow, but nothing is ever easy in the Premier League. I'd expect us to go get the job done. I want to see how you are all feeling. Again, lots and lots of stuff to get through. Team selection will be a big one. I think most people will probably be thinking along the same lines, but look, we'll go through it and see how you're all feeling. Ferno said, nice shirt, thank you very much. I actually had a different shirt on when I was getting ready to do the stream. I had the Columbia home shirt on. So I logged in, I was getting ready, setting up the green screen, and then I noticed that the yellow had clashed with the green. So I thought that I was a floating head basically on the screen. So last minute I had to change, scramble to the wardrobe, grab the first shirt that came out, and the Toronto shirt was the first one to hand. So hence the reason I'm wearing this one tonight, Ferno. And said, hi Craig, hope you had a good day. 5-0 tomorrow. Somebody in the league is due a hiding. It was a mixy day for me. Yeah, it was pretty good, but somebody ran into the back of our car earlier on when my wife and Lucas were in the car, and a good bit of damage done to the boot of the car, or the rear end of the car. Thankfully Lucas and Sabrina seem to be okay. Sabrina's a little bit sore, Lucas was a little bit shaken up, but other than that, it's been a good day. And look, in these situations, all you can hope for is that people get out of accidents and they're able to walk away from them, and they both were, as was the person in the other car. So thankfully from that sense everyone's okay. But if I'm a little bit off, a little bit shook tonight, then that's why. Obviously I'm concerned about my wife and concerned about my son, but we'll look ahead to the game tomorrow. We'll talk about the Reds, we'll look ahead to the weekend, see how you're all feeling. Dirty Girl is in the house, how are you? Alpha G is in the house, Louis is in the house. Craig, did you see all the Chelsea fans on Twitter after Salah was messing around about his goal drill? Mate, honestly, I don't pay attention to Chelsea fans because I feel like I say this every week, but there are the shit on the end of your shoe. I have no time for Chelsea fans. They're the lowest of the low. You've seen my rants about them, you've heard me talk about them. When you have a club that spends more time singing about your players, i.e. Liverpool players, than their own fucking players, they've lost it with me. A manager came back to their club last weekend that was the most successful manager in the history of Chelsea Football Club, I believe. And they just slagged him off. So look, fuck them. No time for them, mate. So no, I didn't really see what they were up at. Glad you're okay, Craig. I wasn't in the car, mate. It was just Sabrina and Lucas that were in the car. I wasn't there at the times. So yeah, they're a little bit shaken up, but you know, thankfully they're both okay. Bill Shankly's first game in charge was against Cardiff. I did not know that, Paul. Thank you for that one. Tonic said, I want to see Octopus Leg, Fabinho and Big Shaqiri again tomorrow. I saw Liverpool using my tune to the A-Team as a warm-up tune. Did you see it? No, but I fucking love that A-Team tune. I fucking love the A-Team. The Revenite said, evening Craig, Cardiff are getting stuff like a Thanksgiving turkey tomorrow. Fuck them and up the Reds. Paul said, sorry to hear that, Craig, as long as everyone's okay. Exactly, mate. That's the main thing. Everybody walked away. The car is a fucking car. It's a piece of metal. It can be replaced. It can be fixed. Nothing to worry about there. Lucas and Sabrina are okay, and that's all I could have hoped for. As is the driver, I have to say, of the other vehicle. She walked away fine as well. Evening all, hope Sabrina and Lucas are okay after the car got shunted. Sound demo, buddy, not a bother. They're just relaxing, just keeping an eye on Lucas to make sure he hadn't got a concussion or anything. But look, to be honest, he seems in good form. 4 days after Bill Shankly played against Huddersfield, he became Liverpool manager, and it was also the first time Huddersfield won against us. Said, look, Ferno coming out with all the stats. Craig, been saying all season long, someone is going to get smashed by us. I think tomorrow is that day, says Nabil Fakir. Nabil, I don't think I've spoken to you since I got back. How are you, sir? Great to have you with us. Can't wait to smash Arsenal and watch them cry because their win streak is over, said LFC_5. Right, guys, a couple of things from today's press conference. Strangely enough, with Neil Warnock, and look, I could be just completely thinking wrongly here, but he had some nice things to say about Jurgen Klopp, and I don't really ever remember Neil Warnock having much praise towards Liverpool Football Club. Maybe I have an agenda against Neil Warnock, I don't know. But yeah, he had some nice things to say about Jurgen Klopp. He said that the club is in a much better position than when he arrived. He said that he's got us playing really good football. Spoke about our front three and said that we may have the best front three in the world, which is very kind of him to say. Jurgen Klopp again had some nice words to say about Neil Warnock. He said he knows the Championship really well. Seems to be able to do what he wants down there. All the niceties that you'd expect before a game. But look, fuck that. It's all about what happens on the football field. It's great to see goodwill, but you know as well as I do, if Liverpool score a last minute winner, Klopp gives it a full fist pump running down the line, Neil Warnock will be on that camera afterwards calling him a disrespectful shit. And none of this will matter 1 ounce. So, starting 11s tomorrow, guys. Where are we on this one? I've wrote down my starting 11 actually. Do you know, I actually went through the hassle of writing it down for once rather than just trying to recite it in my head. So, for me, I'm going with Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Virgil van Dijk, and Andy Robertson as left back. So, absolutely no change for me in that back five. Sure, why would you? They were absolutely immaculate. The midfield, you're probably going to scream no changes there either, Craig, and I get you. But for me, Fabinho has to play. No issues there. And Shaqiri, for me, has to play as well. The only one place I might make or might envisage Jurgen Klopp perhaps making a change tomorrow is maybe giving Gini Wijnaldum a rest and giving James Milner a run out. And I have to stress the word rest because Gini Wijnaldum has been absolutely outstanding this season. I just feel with the games coming up, we've no midweek game this week that I'm aware of. Champions League game is the 6th, I think, against Red Star away from home. So maybe this is a little time where you can give Gini a little bit of a break. He's after having international football. He's after having a lot of football with the Reds this season. So I'd go for a midfield of James Milner, Fabinho and Shaqiri, and then I wouldn't change the front three. I'd leave them exactly as they are for tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Any changes for you guys? We know that Naby Keita is out and we know that Jordan Henderson is out. The manager confirmed that today in his press conference. He did say they were back training, but the game has come just a little bit too early for them and probably best not to risk either. It is a long season. We do have a lot of games to come, so, sensible stuff there from Jurgen Klopp. Interesting though, if they were fit, would they even get back in at this moment in time? That's a competitive ass midfield at this moment. Whatever about Jordan Henderson, Naby Keita, who we would probably put at the top tier of our midfielders, would he get back in at this moment in time? I don't know. I'm a real believer in somebody holding onto a shirt when they're playing well, and most of the guys that are playing in that midfield are doing pretty damn good lately. Right, so let's go into the chat, see how you guys are feeling, and see what type of team selection you guys are expecting tomorrow. Anfield is a fort if Cardiff will get destroyed, said Liverpool legend. Louis said, hope you and your family are okay. How was your holiday? I wasn't able to join the stream the other night. Holiday was great, thank you, Louis. Very relaxing. Kids had a blast. I shopped like the shopaholic that I am. It was excellent, thank you. We really enjoyed it. Takes a bit of getting used to being home. I'm still on holiday mode, I think. But I enjoyed it. Really, really good. Everybody says don't judge the league until 10 games in. Well, tomorrow is the 10th game, said Tonic. It is a good way of judging it, mate. You're right, pretty much just over the quarter mark there once we get past tomorrow. You can see the league starting to take shape then. It's pretty tight at the top as things stand. I think is there 2 points separating the first 5 or 6 teams or something. So it's a competitive league at this moment in time. Paul said Fabinho and Shaq to start against Cardiff tomorrow. Dirty Girl said same as. Stephen Taggart just says good, or Taggart, where the fuck am I? Like, Stephen Taggart said good evening to everybody. Gareth, our good friend Gareth Phillips has said, is there ever an easy win against any Welsh team, or there's never an easy win against any Welsh team? I get how patriotic you are, mate. I love it, but come on, we should be giving Cardiff a bit of a kick in tomorrow, if we're being honest. Paul Turner said, that's right, Tom, it's been a while. Same team as the last game for Ferno. Cardiff will be very defensive, so we need Shaqiri in the 10, and Fabinho has to start too. Will said, hello all, shocked to hear about the incident with your car, Craig. Is everything okay? Sending good wishes. As I said, mate, all sound. As long as the both of them and the other driver all walked away, the cars are fucking replaceable. Who cares about them? They're only pieces of metal. You can't be the good lurk. I don't know what that's all about, Damo, but I mean, whatever you're into, buddy, I'll leave it with you. Paul's team for tomorrow will be Alisson, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, James Milner, Fabinho and Shaqiri with Salah, Firmino and Mane. That's exactly where I'm at, Paul. It seems harsh to say that you would ask Gini Wijnaldum to miss out, but I would have to say yet again that the only reason I'd say that is to give him a rest. It's not because of his form. We all know how good he's been. Dirty Girl says Milner Ribena needs to play tomorrow. Or Milner Ribena needs topping up, excuse me. Keep the same midfield. Sorry, Hendo, time's up. We'll get into a conversation around Jordan Henderson a little bit later on in the stream, because it is something I want to talk about. I've been talking to friends on my phone. I've been going back and forth with other people about the Jordan Henderson situation. I've heard some really excellent arguments both sides, so I thought I'd put it to you guys later on, and we will get into it, don't worry about it. Theo Giles says, I see you wearing a Toronto jersey. What's your thoughts on Giovinco? I don't know if he still is, but I remember he once was the highest paid player in the MLS as far as I know. He knows where the fucking net is, Theo, I'll say that. I got the Toronto shirt because I picked up a few when I was over there. I got the Columbus Crew shirt as well. I got the LAFC shirt. I have the Orlando City shirt. I just like this shirt, so I picked it up. I actually remember Jermaine Defoe. He'd need a short spell at Toronto as well, so I just thought, fuck it. Jermaine Defoe's a nice lad. I like the shirt. Let's grab it. It's Adidas as well, which I love about all the MLS shirts. When you're Adidas freak like me, or sorry, Adidas. I know a lot of people pulled me up on this yesterday. When you're an Adidas freak like me, you don't need an excuse, mate, to buy an Adidas top. So Giovinco is a good footballer, though. It shocked me that he went to the MLS. He could probably play pretty high up in the European League. Paul Gormley said, what do you think of the new shirt sponsor rumours between Nike or Adidas, Craig? Adidas for me, I hope. I'm a bit of a stickler for this shit, and excuse me, I'm not having a go at you, Paul. It's not a shirt sponsor, it's a manufacturer. I don't know why that bothers me, but it just does. Anyway, back to your question. Adidas is for me as well, mate, all day long. I would see Liverpool in Nike as just being wrong. Maybe it's because I am an Adidas freak, as I said. I also didn't like the little slight dig Adidas had at Liverpool before they didn't renew our shirt manufacturer deal. They said that Liverpool weren't worth the money that we were asking. Were they right or wrong at the time? I don't know. But if it was between those two, it's Adidas for me all day long. Mainly because if we brought back Adidas, we'd get all those retro kits, you know, the beautiful ones that we can buy now, the ones that they sell on Score Draw, the ones that sell in the shops. Imagine getting those babies with the Adidas or fucking Adidas. I'm going between the two again, I don't know why. With the Adidas logo on them, it would be sweet. So I'd like to see us stay with New Balance though, if I'm being honest. I love the New Balance shirts. I like the New Balance trainers. I like their gear in general. Under Armour, I'm a massive fan of as well, but I don't know what it is about Nike. They just seem like the dark side for me. I don't know what it is. I've never liked any of their kits. I think they're all the same. They're overpriced. They're one of the most expensive kit manufacturers when you're looking to buy a shirt. Nike just doesn't do it for me, and Liverpool and Nike would just feel wrong, mate. As far as I know though, there is at least 18 months to run on the current deal with New Balance, so I'm not sure. A lot of people thought it was up at the end of the season, but that was confirmed by some people within the club that the deal runs a little bit longer than that. So I don't know, mate, but just anybody but Nike, I would say. I just despise them when it comes to making football shirts. Dell said, hi Craig. From the tweet earlier about the tickets for tomorrow, would just like to thank you and tweeted back, you as a great bunch of lads. No joy as of yet, but thanks one and all. I'm so sorry, Del, mate. So just to confirm what Del is talking about there, Del has gone over for the game from Ireland tomorrow with his son, I believe, but definitely a young child. And he couldn't get a ticket, he got let down. He went over travelling with the belief that he had a couple of tickets and he got let down. So we put out a shout to try and help him out with a ticket or two for him and his son, or him and his child, excuse me, and no joy. So I really fucking hate when stuff like this happens, when you go over there with the belief that you're getting tickets and you get let down like that, mate. I'm so sorry. I hope somebody's able to sort you out tomorrow. Go to the 12th man. That's one thing I'll say, maybe before the game. Go in and around Anfield. You might get lucky. Ask a few cabbies as well, because they can be quite helpful. I just wish I could have done more, mate. I'm so sorry that I didn't. Even Connor hasn't been able to get tickets, and he's going to be over there as well. So I hope it works out for you, Del. Let us know if it does, buddy, and I'll keep asking for you on the off chance. The Revanite said Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Milner, Fabinho, Shaqiri, and the front three. That is the front three. So a lot of people seem to be thinking along the same way with regard to the starting 11 for tomorrow. Good evening, Craig. Hopefully same team as Wednesday for Anthony Peters. You can't really change too much, can you? As I said, maybe we could have the conversation around giving Wijnaldum a rest, but other than that, the team deserved to play. The players that started the game did excellent, and they deserved a chance yet again. Just hit 1,500 subs on my alternative channel. Absolutely buzzing, said Alpha G. Well, congratulations on that one, mate. Always good to hear people hitting marks. I know how hard every single subscriber is to get, buddy, so I feel you with the 1.5. Congratulations. I thought when we came on here, I thought it would be like Twitter. I thought it would be much easier to gain subscribers. Connor warned me at the time. He said, don't treat these two as the same. Getting subscribers on YouTube is infinitely harder. My fucking God, was he right. It's a tough out game on here, so I respect you, Alpha G, mate, and congratulations on the 1.5k. Liverpool beat Swansea 5-0 last year. That was easy, said LJW. Yeah, that's one Welsh team they gave a bit of a hiding to, so you're spot on there. Liverpool legend has gone with Alisson, Rob, Gomez, Van Dijk, Trent, William, or excuse me, my head's all over the place. Who's Will? Will? Who's Will? I might just go and fucking blank here. Fabinho, Shaqiri, Salah and Bobby. Who's Will? Van Dijk, Trent. Yeah, I'm missing something here. Fabinho, Shaqiri. Oh, Wijnaldum. Is that who we're going for? Is that supposed to be Wijnaldum? Really appreciate it, Craig. Hope you had a blast in your holidays. It was great, thank you, mate. I'm already trying to think about where we'll go next year. Even though we swore next year we weren't going to have an expensive holiday. We were going to go somewhere fairly cheap and, you know, do some work in the house. I just have that holiday bug, so I want to go again. Anthony Peters said Cardiff are 30-1 for tomorrow. 30-1. Fucking hell. So they're not getting much of a hope from the bookies anyway. I think it was 1-9 on for Liverpool to win when I checked earlier on, so it's not even worth putting the bet on that one. You know you have to have the L5 on the VVD header, but apart from that, I'm with you. It's not really worth gambling on that game. Lots of good wishes as well towards Dell with his quest to try and get a couple of tickets for tomorrow's game. It's tough. I'm playing around with a new phone here, guys. I got a new upgrade today. I have to say this was pre the crash, by the way. I didn't let my wife get in a crash and then sky off and get myself an upgrade. You got an upgrade today on the phone, and it takes a bit of getting used to. I've had an iPhone 7 Plus for the past 2 years, maybe a little bit longer, and upgraded today, and it takes a bit of getting used to. Why was Tonic's message deleted there, by the way? I'll read it out, Tonic, because there's absolutely nothing wrong with your message. I think a competitive league season is needed to keep pressure on City. No runaway winners this season. I don't understand why that one. Maybe it was a mistake, but there was nothing wrong with Tonic's comment there. It is damn competitive season, mate. You're right. And we do need to keep pressure on Manchester City. I read something today on Sky Sports News that they believe, well, Adam Bate, the person that wrote this article, believes that the return of De Bruyne is going to tip the favour back in Manchester City's balance. And look, you have to understand that he's an excellent footballer, one of the best in the world. But I'm kind of going to stick to my guns in that I believe Manchester City are going to be under a lot of pressure this year, particularly the gaffer, to try and do well in the Champions League. So maybe I'm being optimistic. Maybe I'm hoping they take their eye off the ball, They have a pretty good squad, so they should be capable of challenging in both competitions. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that we can squeak in there. We have to be there or thereabouts come February, March time. If we are there and we're fighting for the league, you know, anything can happen. So let's just see. But as you said, it is competitive at this moment in time, and doesn't look like anyone's going to run away with it. What do you think of Adam Lewis? Looks like a hell of a left back. Haven't seen much of him, if I'm being honest, Neil. Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen much of him. Wouldn't it be great if Martial and De Gea left United, said Gareth. Again, about that, I was reading earlier on, both players' contracts, I think I spoke about this yesterday, both players' contracts do technically run out in 2019, but there is a clause in both of their contracts that United can trigger one more year. But even at that, if both refuse to sign on, you would imagine at the end of this season United would look to try and cash in, because David De Gea and Anthony Martial, if they ain't going to sign there, they're going to be wanted. There's going to be lots and lots of clubs looking to get those two guys in. De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and Anthony Martial is a huge talent. I don't understand what's really gone wrong there at United. It would be easy of me to just point the finger at Mourinho, but not being a United fan, not being on the inside, I don't know. But what I can say is he's an immense talent. He's capable of becoming one of the, you know, the elite footballers in the world. Hopefully that doesn't happen at United. Hopefully he goes off and does it somewhere else. I'd love him at Liverpool. I'd take him in a heartbeat. It's never going to happen, but I'd take him in a heartbeat. Paul Connell said, Genie's been a revelation since Keita came in. Hate to say it, but Hendo was fifth choice. As I said, we will get on to talk about Hendo later on. I think it's only fair that we do start to have that conversation. I don't want to just do it. I want more people to join in on the stream, because I hate when we do these things and then some people join in a little bit late because they've been busy or whatever, and we have to go back over things. I'd like to do it at kind of a peak time in the stream, if that's okay. What's the odds this week of a VVD headed goal? I don't know, but sure, why not? Why not fucking check while we're live on here? Right, so let's just log in and see if we can't get the odds of the now VVD noggin tomorrow. Right, football, accumulators, all matches by day. Right, where are we? Apologies to people watching and have no interest in betting here. This isn't going to make for a fucking great view, and I apologise on that one. Right, where we go with the score, a header. Come on. Penalty specials, no. Let's go score. Where is it? Come on. Apologies, I'm going my fastest to try and get through this. Clean sheet, scoring both halves, win both halves. Where the fuck is it? To be carded, no. Score a brace, hat-trick, goal scorer. I'm not seeing the odds to score a header, actually. Both players to score. This happened to me the other week. They had no specials. They had no headed goals as well. Win both half, clean sheet, first team, match specials. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I can't give you the odds yet because I haven't seen it. That's mad. It has to be here somewhere. If anybody else can find it, let me know. Maybe it's on Paddy or something. Goal markets, right. Sorry guys. Yeah, no, it's not giving me an option of it. There's first goal scored, score 90 minutes, score a brace, score a hat-trick, both players to score. No odds on a headed goal for tomorrow. I guess I'm going on to Paddy then to do that later on. Jurgen donated 5k to Sean Cox, said Papa. I genuinely did not know that, mate, so thank you for letting us know. That's it just speaks for the man that he is. I know people might say 5k is small fry to Jurgen Klopp, but he's thinking of Sean Cox. 5k will make a big difference to his family. I suppose it's one of those phrases that every bit would help. I was a little bit disappointed when I read the statement that came out from Sean Cox's wife with regards to, and I don't mean I was disappointed in her, far from it. I meant I was disappointed with the phrase that the club had initially been very helpful. Look, obviously I don't know what's going on there in the background. I don't know what help Liverpool have or have not given the Cox family, but call me naive, but I would have liked to have thought there that the likes of medical care, the financial aspects of this, I wouldn't have thought the family should have to worry about that at all. Between Liverpool and Roma, I would have thought they'd have looked after all that. And again, as I said, call me naive, but it just seems wrong. If the family have those pressures over their head, and I don't know what way the financials are, I know a lot of money was raised, but we all know how quickly medical costs can add up, particularly not palliative care, excuse me, care going forward and things like that as well. So look, obviously lots of love to the Cox family, and well done to Jurgen on his donation, hopefully, and I'm sure many of the players will probably step up and do similarly, if not privately. We don't know, but it is, I can't even imagine what the Cox family are going through at this moment in time. Thankfully Sean is woken, as we know, but you know, his life may never be the same again. Often going to a football game to support the club that he loves, it's a position none of us ever hoped to be in, and still kind of makes me shudder to this day. It could have been anyone, any single person there, minding their own business, having a pint, chatting with their mates. Yeah, it shakes you up. It does. It really does, to think that this type of shit can go on around a sporting occasion. Mike Hine said, on Wednesday, Fabinho's won as many tackles as Hendo has for the season. That sounds ridiculous. There's always these mad stats like that floating around, alright, to be fair. But it is a mad stat, I'll give you that one. It definitely is a mad stat. Right, loads of thoughts to get through. Jesus Christ, loads and loads of comments here. Gonna try my best to catch back up. Adidas is my favourite kit, said Ferno. Kappa kits. You're mad for the Kappa kits, dirty girl. I don't like them one bit, I have to say. Don't like their kits one bit. Right, there we go. Sorry, I've caught back up now. Nike shirt designs are the best, said Alpha G. Not for me, mate. Just, you know, it could be a personal thing. I'm mad for Nike runners, don't get me wrong, or fucking pairs of Air Max coming out my ears, but just don't like them as football shirts. I don't know why. Never liked them. Do you ever get that thing where you're just pro or anti two particular brands, whether it be Samsung iPhone or Adidas Nike or whatever it is, two separate phone carriers even? I've just never been on the side of Nike when it comes to football shirts. Louis said, I like Adidas, but didn't they disrespect us when we weren't in a very good way? I wouldn't mind them coming back though. I like Nike as well. Nike can get the swoosh out of here. Adidas for me, said Damo. Ferno said, I hate Nike, so generic in every way. Every Nike shirt just looks the same. They do. That's my thing about them as well. So many of them look the same. Lindsay said, hey Craig, how much have I missed? I won't be able to stay long. Not much, Lindsay. We've only really spoken about the team selection for tomorrow's game. In the whole, it seems like everybody feels the team should pretty much stay as it was on Wednesday. My possible exception would be I'd like to see Gini get a rest because he's played a lot of football, and perhaps give James Milner a run out. But other than that, I'd like the team kept the same. Let's get Under Armour in for a shirt deal. I mean, if we had to get rid of New Balance, Tom, but I wouldn't mind me a bit of Under Armour. They make quality gear. Chris Sutton has said on Sky, I think it was, that Virgil van Dijk is the third best player in the world. That's he's on BT, I think, though, isn't he, Gareth? To be fair, I think Chris Sutton's on BT, but he's a plank either way. But third best player in the world is a big statement. But one thing we can say is he's absolute quality, and we're blessed to have him at Liverpool Football Club. I spoke earlier on about the two managers speaking in the press conference. Well, Neil Warnock said that when he was at Crystal Palace, he could have had Virgil van Dijk for 6 million, but his chief scout told him that he was too slow and that he needed somebody quicker. And Neil Warnock went on to say, I think that lad's actually still working in football. Imagine turning down Van Dijk, and it's happened to so many managers with so many players. I mean, if we were to go through lists of players the clubs have missed out on, managers would kick themselves time and time again. Sure, hasn't Wenger spoken many times about the players he's missed out on? At Liverpool alone, we know we've missed out on Dani Alves, David Villa. Who else we missed? Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most famous ones. I mean, the club refused to pay, I think, 10 million for him at the time when he was 18. and numerous other players. So look, it happens at every club, doesn't it? Paul Gormley said, would love a new Adidas deal and a new version of the 1991 shirt with the white flex. Shirt we wore last time we won the league, and the grey away kit that year was unreal. Still one of my favourite kits. I love that kit as well, and it's why I like the third kit so much this year, Paul. I love that. I kind of look at that as a take on that 1991 kit that you're talking about. No, actually it was the 89-90 kit. Oh, excuse me. God, sneezing. Thoughts on Joe Gomez possibly getting a new contract? I think he deserves it because of his recent performances, said Louis. Yes, mate, 100% he deserves it. It's brilliant news. It's great that the club have seen it. It's great that the club want to pay him back for his good work. And it's something the club have often said, that they bring players in. We know that often players at Liverpool Football Club's contracts can be highly incentivised. Well, the club say, you come in, you do the business, you'll get rewarded. Well, look, they seem to be true to their word. We've seen Mo Salah get a new contract in the summer. We've seen Bobby Firmino get a new contract. We've seen a contract negotiation start for Sadio Mane. We'll talk about that a little bit later on as well. We've seen other players pick up new deals. So Joe Gomez deserves a new deal. I don't know what money he's on now. That's between him, his agent and the club. But his performances and his importance to the club at this moment in time, you'd have to say that a new deal seems pretty fair. Imran has gone for Alisson, Trent, Virgil, Gomez, Robertson, Fabinho, Gini, Shaqiri, Mane, Salah and Firmino. Imran, mate, I've been waiting for this moment all season. I promise you I have. You've been so loyal to Fabinho. Every week you put his name on the team sheet, and I've said to you, don't think it's going to happen this week. Well, you know what, Imran? I agree with you, mate. He definitely should be starting this week. Without a shadow of a doubt, Fabinho deserves to be in that team. So I'm right behind you this week, my friend. The Revenant said, I was going to say, Alpha, why was he hidden? I've no idea. I'm sure it was a genuine mistake. What's tonight's shirt, Craig, said Stephen. It's Toronto, mate. Toronto shirt. I had on the Columbia shirt, as I said earlier on, but it clashed with the green screen and I looked like a floating head. VVD will score in a cup final this season. I can predict the future, Craig, said Ferno. I'll remember this. If he does, mate, I will give you the credit. I promise you. If VVD goes and scores in the cup final, I will remember this and I will give you all the credit that you deserve. Heard the Rangers fans love Ryan Kent. Why wouldn't they? He's been brilliant for them. Yeah, he's been really, really good, and they're doing really well. I'm saying too much tonight, apologies. They've been doing really well in Europe. The league, not so good, but there's still time there, and Hearts are leading the league, so it's not even Celtic they're playing catch up with. Stevie seems to be doing a good job, and Kent seems to be doing fantastic. I mean, some of our young players out on loan are doing really well this season. You'd have to, and we spoke about this a few weeks ago, you'd wonder what's going on at Sheffield United. It's just Ben Woodburn. What the fuck is going on there? Like, he hasn't been the Ben Woodburn that we'd expected. He hasn't had the development that we'd have hoped for yet. I really don't know, but hopefully he gets more game time this season and proves himself. Ferno said, I need the iPhone 6s, Craig. I'm stuck with the iPhone 5, which is still doing its job for now, but we'll have to upgrade soon. The iPhone 5, Jesus, that's a while back. The iPhone 5. I remember I was very happy when I had the iPhone 5, but Jesus, that's a way back, man. You do need an upgrade, come on. Is 6 better than 7? No, 7's much better, mate, trust me. You can get you a lot less trouble as well with 7. Alpha said I use the iPhone 5 as well. I hate big phones. I got the, what's this called? The iPhone, this one, the iPhone XR. The one that came out today, actually, I think it is. It's my first one not having that home button. Takes a bit of getting used to. It's got a glass back as well on it, not the usual brushed metal that I've had on other phones. It's taken me a bit of getting used to, I have to say. It's very quick, it's very smooth as you'd expect with an Apple phone, but not having that home button's going to take a bit of getting used to for me. Lee said I had the iPhone 5C. Do you know, that's the one iPhone that I've always said I don't even consider an iPhone because it was plastic. My mother-in-law had it as well, and I gave her an awful lot of abuse over. I don't know why. Call me an Apple snob or whatever. Actually, you can't call me an Apple snob now because I'm here with an iPhone 10R because I didn't want to spend the extra 300 quid to get the 10s. I mean, why would I? It's 550 quid on contract over here in Ireland to get that phone, whereas this phone only cost me 250 on my bill pay contract to upgrade. So, you know, I'm not paying 550 quid for a fucking phone. I could buy a new computer with that nearly. Ronan said, "Hello Craig, have you heard about Klopp's donation for Sean Cox, who had been injured in the spring? Just heard earlier on, mate, somebody mentioned that he donated $5,000, which is a beautiful gesture from a beautiful man to a beautiful man. The hate Juve makes lots of sense, to be fair. Who wants to work for the bus driver?" That really does. I'd never thought about that. That makes an awful lot of sense. That would be a cracking move for De Gea. Good shout. Whoever made that shout originally, Revan, I don't know if it was you or you're just responding to somebody else, but that's a pretty good shout. And you take into account there that it seems that Zidane wants that job as well at Juventus down the line. So, you know, it's definitely put two and two together there. It makes sense. Man United will regret paying Sanchez so much it started a ripple effect. He has been an absolute bag of shite and I couldn't be happier. It's good enough for them. I still to this day believe that they went and signed Alexis Sanchez just to stop Manchester City getting him. I don't think they even had a plan for him. I don't think they had a way they wanted to integrate him into their system. I just think they wanted to try and flex their muscles and stop Manchester City getting him. Well, guess what? Manchester City didn't get him. United did. He's done fuck all. And Manchester City moved on and signed another really good player. So, Riyad Mahrez doing a lot better than Alexis Sanchez is, even though he's just starting his career at Manchester City. So, fuck you, Man United. You get what you deserve. Maybe it could be a good idea to inform him about the raising fund. I'm not sure what you mean there, Ronan, buddy. De Gea back to Spain, Barca, Real, Juve, Bayern, PSG. I wouldn't say Real, they just signed the former Chelsea keeper, what's his name, Postman Pat. Big tall fucker, fucking hell, I couldn't think of his name at this moment in time. Courtois, yeah, Thibaut Courtois. So, don't think he'd be going. Juve makes loads of sense. Bayern, it's probably not at a high enough level for him, and no disrespect to Bayern there, I mean the league more than the club. PSG, I don't know how competitive David De Gea is, whether he'd want to play in that league. But Real Madrid, no. Barca, possibly. But Juve, out of those clubs, Juve is the one that seems to jump off the page to me as one that would make a lot of sense. And Stephen Richards said, smash the like button, guys. And please do, if you're watching and you're enjoying the stream, please do hit the like button. And of course, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. We can all donate a bit each, said Ronan. Is this in relation to the Sean Cox fund, mate? Because there was money raised earlier on, and again, I don't know the cost going forward. I don't know how much was raised. Fabinho and Shaqiri should start again tomorrow, said Chris Dens TV. Absolutely, 100% agree. Both of them were excellent during the week. Man U team will need rebuilding. It's all over the place, said Dirty Girl. Somebody said 9 or 10 of their players' contracts are up next summer. The captain's deal is up. We spoke about De Gea's deal isn't technically up, nor is Martial's, but people are reporting them as being up. Then Shaw signed a new deal. Herrera's deal is up. I think Pereira's deal is up. Who else? Ashley Young, I think his deal is up as well. I can't think off the top. Is Mata's deal up, or has he got a new deal? But yeah, there's 9 or 10 other players running out of contract. So yeah, lots of investment to be made there at Manchester United. But you know what? Fuck them. Imran thinks Ben Woodburn should go to Derby County. They're doing really well under El Frankie, aren't they? Seems to be doing a good job there. Fair play to him. Unlike those bastard of Chelsea fans, I don't have anything bad to say about Frank Lampard. I respect him as a footballer. Wouldn't spend me time singing about him though. Right, what else haven't I read out? Who else comments haven't I gone through yet? Okay. Sorry guys, I'm just going back through. There we go. I don't like missing out on people's comments. Haven't watched Cardiff. What are they like? Said Tonic. They're not great, mate. They won 4-2 last week. They aren't great. We should be able to turn them over. A hard working team, a good championship team, a good solid team, but we should, if it'll be a massive fucking disappointment if we don't get 3 points tomorrow. Damo said, Jose saying that Everton have the same ambition as United. Can you imagine Moyes, the chosen one, saying that? They'd be lining up to crucify him. Look, I don't know quite how much money Jose Mourinho has had to spend at Manchester United during his time there, but I imagine it's not slight. I imagine he's had more than enough to have built a better squad than he currently has. Liverpool to win 8-0, said Imran. Tomorrow, I'll take that, mate. Damo Gark was ranting about what a joke Jose is, the dinosaur, and deluded to say the least. Why aren't any of our £1 million players given anything though? We don't know if they have or haven't, Liam. That's the thing. I don't know, mate. I would have hoped and assumed that they probably have, but it's a tough conversation to have. I agree that you would have hoped that I would have hoped the club would have stepped up, regardless of the players, mate. I would have hoped the club would have stepped up and made sure that hospital care or financial worries aren't something that the family have to go through. There's enough on their fucking plate. Seamus Coleman donated $5,000 as well. Class act. Well done, Seamus Coleman. Congratulations to him. He's an Everton player, but he's an Irishman, and more than that, he's a good old skin, so fair play to him. Paul Connell said, Roma fan not guilty on Sean Cox attack. What the fuck? That shocked me when I was away. He was found guilty on a lesser charge, one that he admitted to earlier on. I think he got 3 years, if memory serves me correct, but I don't know. You want to have faith in the legal system, Paul, but when you see things like this, and look, I don't have the ins and outs of that case, it's not really fair for me to comment, but after what happened to Mr. Cox, 3 years, his life has been changed forever, so I don't think 3 years was enough, personally. All the LFC players, if they have the morals, would donate. Again, we don't know if they have or haven't. We're all just sitting here assuming they may have done it. It may have been kept under wraps. I don't know. They may be working on something now. Craig, it doesn't surprise me how the club have reacted to Sean Cox's family as regards to money. They're famous for it, I'm sorry to say. The person charged for the assault should be 100% liable for the medical costs. Well, I think the guy was 23 years of age or something, Tom, so even if he was held liable for the medical costs, and I've no idea if what's it called, not a criminal case, the other one, oh, what's it called, a civil case, yes. I don't know if a civil case can be taken against them, but he's 23 years of age. He's not going to have that type of money, is he, in all likelihood. Seamus Coleman and David Myler have also donated to Sean Cox. Respect to both of them. Absolutely. Craig always used Samsung but now swapped to Huawei is it Huawei or Huawei? Much better. My wife uses Samsung. She's a Samsung freak. She's got the Samsung Galaxy S9, and while we were away on holiday she bought herself the new Samsung Galaxy Watch. And I mean the new one, like the one that was only out in the past couple of weeks. I don't get smartwatches. I'm a bit of a gadget freak, but smartwatches don't do it for me. But she seems to like her watch, so as long as she's happy, I suppose. Trent has the potential to be one of the best defenders ever, said Liverpool legend. Without a shadow of a doubt, he certainly does. He is absolute fucking quality. Absolute quality. Right, where's my little agenda to make sure I haven't missed out on anything? Okay, we went through the starting 11 for tomorrow. I suppose now is probably the best time for us to sit down and have this conversation around Jordan Henderson that I was speaking about earlier on. It used to be that people just had a dig at Jordan Henderson for the sake of it. People used to blame every mistake that went on in our midfield to Jordan Henderson. People used to blame the lack of creativity in the midfield to Jordan Henderson. People will blame our lack of defensive ability or our lack of defensive nous in midfield on Jordan Henderson. People would blame our inability to see out a game on Jordan Henderson. People would blame our lack of leadership on Jordan Henderson. He got blamed on a lot of fucking stuff. But now, I think it's really time that we have this conversation around Jordan Henderson in a different way. You know, I've been a massive advocate of Jordan Henderson. I've spoken on his behalf or in his defence many, many times on these streams and in podcasts previously. I like Jordan Henderson. I think he's a good lad. I think he's a good club captain. He's a good, solid pro. But I have to say, hand on heart, at this moment in time, with what we're seeing from Fabinho, and yes, it's early days there, with what we're seeing from James Milner, and again, how long is James Milner going to go on with his career, I don't know. But what we're seeing from Gini Wijnaldum, we're having Naby Keita come in, with Shaqiri there, and I know these are all different positions, but you have to understand that Henderson can play in the 6 or the 8. He's been playing more, I suppose, in the 6, but is he in our best 3? And look, I know we won't always be playing the same 3, so in a way this conversation is a little bit skewed, but I do think he's moving down the pecking order now. Whether that leads to him perhaps getting moved on at a later date, I don't know. But I have to say, hand on heart, I wouldn't have Jordan Henderson in our first 4, maybe 5 midfielders at this moment in time. And I think this is the first time I've said this since his time at Liverpool. We've got a good midfield now. Fabinho is coming in. He's going to take that 6 role and he's going to run with it. And if he plays anywhere near the level that he seems capable of, he's nailed that down. Naby Keita will hit the ground running eventually. It may take him the rest of the season, but he will get back to the Naby Keita that we know he's capable of, and that just leaves one more position really. Again, I know we'll have rotation and whatnot, but if we're just talking about a Champions League final here and we're just trying to put out our best 11, that leaves then one more position, and at this moment in time, for me that's Gini's, but behind him you've got Milner. Then we have to think about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back. We have to think about Shaqiri in there for looking for somebody to pull the strings as a 10. And again, you'd have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for the penetrative runs and the power and pace. Adam Lallana is in the conversation, although I'd probably put Jordan Henderson ahead of him, even though they play in different positions. It's a really tough midfield to get into these days, so it is probably the time to have the conversation around Jordan Henderson. And that conversation, I suppose, would then lead to the captaincy. This season, for me, I would love to see it left as it is, because I think it would undermine a lot of things to take the captaincy away from a player during the season, particularly when the player has done not very much wrong. We've seen at times in other clubs that John Terry was captain and he wasn't playing too much. He was club captain at Manchester United last year and he wasn't playing too much. What's the guy's name? The guy that came from Spurs, can't think of his name. Anyway, you guys know who I'm talking about, the English fella. He wasn't playing too much either, 36, 37 years of age. Mourinho's assistant manager now. Why does my mind do this to me at times? I just go blank. He wasn't playing too much. He was club captain. Gary Cahill at Chelsea, club captain, wasn't playing too much. Michael Carrick, thank you guys. I just completely went blank there. So the club captain, I suppose, doesn't really have to play every week. Then you're getting into the argument of how important is the captaincy, and I think it's a pretty big deal. We've often said that foreign coaches and foreign players look at it and think that we overanalyze the captaincy a little bit too much. Apart from it being an honour and a privilege to be the club captain, particularly at a club like Liverpool, you would hope the club captain would be a leader, and I think Jordan Henderson has been that leader in a lot of ways, a lot of very good ways. I think he's been an excellent advocate for the club. I think he's done a lot for charity. I think he spoke very well and very eloquently. When he was injured and when he was suspended back in 13-14, he took all the media duties to take the pressure off the other players so they could concentrate on the run-in for the league. He's done a lot of really good things, and probably a lot more that we don't know about. If it gets to the summer and he's still not breaking into that midfield, yes, the conversation probably has to be had. And then who would you like as the captain? Look, everybody's answer, probably 99 out of 100 people is going to say Virgil van Dijk. And you can't really disagree with that from my perspective. It's a fairly easy conversation then to have. If you're going to remove the captaincy at some point down the line, then it probably should be Virgil van Dijk. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. So let me know how you guys are feeling around the whole Henderson situation and around the midfield situation in general. Let me know if you think my take on it is right. Let me know if you think I've undervalued Jordan Henderson, or again, just what your take on it really is. Wenger offered Zlatan a trial when he was at Ajax and Zlatan turned him down. Craig, if you caught the Joe Rogan new show on Netflix, his interview with Tyson Fury, I haven't, Stephen, but I have it downloaded on my phone and I'm going to listen to the podcast when I finish on this stream later on, so it's there for me to listen to, buddy. But thank you for giving me a shout just in case I missed it. Lars, good night, mate. Need to sleep so I can see the game tomorrow. Good night, buddy. Get some rest and we'll chat to you then. Don't forget, guys, I will be here for a watch along of the game tomorrow. I'll be starting about 2:30. That's UK time. The game kicks off at 3 p.m. It's on Sky Ireland, so luckily enough I'm going to be able to see it. I don't want to rub it in. I don't mean that in a shitty way, because I know in the UK, unless you get a bit of a dodgy stream, you're not going to be able to see the game. In the US, I imagine it is probably available because you get most of the games over there, and I don't know about anywhere else in the world. But if you want to tune in, you want to enjoy the game with us, I'll be on at about 2:30. I'll take you right through the game, and then of course we'll have our post-match show after that as well. Connor's away for the weekend, so it'll just be little old me trying to keep everything ticking over. That could end up in fucking anything. But look, tonight's okay. The camera's on, the lights are on, everything's going okay. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow for that one at 2:30 anyway. The numbers have been doing really well. We've been getting a lot of people tuning in for the watch-alongs. We've been getting a lot of kind words about the commentary, which mean a lot to me. So I hope to see you all there, unless of course you're going to the game, in which case, you jammy bastards. If not, hopefully I'll see you guys there. Anyway, let's go back to tonight's show. Is that a DSLR camera, Craig? No, cameras go over my head, but aren't they more? Isn't a DSLR more the proper cameras? I don't know. Cameras aren't my thing. I just point and press. Craig Gomez is on 10k a week now. They're going to offer him 10 times that. Why not? He deserves it. Anyone find it funny that Jose parks the bus and the bus is always late? That is shocking that they haven't been able to get to the last couple of games on time. It's fucking nuts. Craig Woodburn was brought back for an under-23 game against Derby, then sent back to Sheffield United. And Woodburn's playing with the under-23s at times. It's not a good sign, is it? Apple snob, said Larry Leach. I am. I have to admit, mate. I'm sitting here now talking to you with my iPhone in front of me on a MacBook with my my Apple TV over there beside my television and my iPad as well. So yes, I admit to it. I'm an absolute Apple snob. Sheffield United manager said Woodburn not getting a game because the first team are settled at the minute. Woodburn played well for the under-23s to get some time. Louis said Wilson's free kick against Manchester United and his free kick for Wales, and also his goal against West Brom. Yeah, he's scoring some belters, Louis, isn't he? For Derby County. Danny Ward should have been our number 2, said Imran. I said the very same thing in the summer, Imran. If we had have known that we were going to move Loris Karius on, and we had have known, well, they obviously knew they were going to bring in a goalkeeper. I would have liked to have seen him kept as our number 2 as well, but we are where we are at this moment in time. Whether that means Simon Mignolet moves out at the end of the season and we bring someone in, or we move on Grabara, or we move on Creevy and Kelleher, I don't know. I mean, Jurgen Klopp will make that decision. Oh, do we have an... thank you, Paul. I love the LFC fans. Welcome to our Egyptian friend. I can't read your name out, mate. No offence intended, but you're very welcome to the channel. Great to have you with us. Craig, the stream I use is funny. When we score, they say goal like the Brazilian fella used to. I love that shit, Stephen. I absolutely love an L goal. A big, long, fucking Southern American goal. It's brilliant. I love a bit of passion in anything to do with football, and South Americans, they do love their goal celebrations. I'm afraid of tomorrow's game, said Ronan. Maybe Liverpool of the past, mate. I could understand where you're coming from, but we're grinding it out. We're doing alright. We're going to do it tomorrow. You have my word. 3 points on the way. Omar, thank you for putting your name in, buddy. Great to have you with us. You're very welcome to the channel. We all love Mo too, said Damo. We certainly do. We absolutely do love Mo Salah. What a signing he's been for the club. What a human being he is. We are definitely Mo Salah fans on here. I will never forgive Karius, said Imran. I don't even want to have that conversation. If I'm being honest, guys, I've had that Karius conversation so many times. Let him go on with his life. Let him go on with his career. What happened has happened. We can't change that. I wish him well. I don't hold any bad will against the guy whatsoever. I hope he goes on and has a good career. Christopher McVicker said, for me, Danny Ward is too good to be a number 2. He's never going to play apart from the Cup game. Liverpool 7, Cardiff 0 for Lindsay tomorrow. 2 for Salah, 1 for Mane, 2 for Fabinho, 1 for Bobby and 1 for Virgil van Dijk. They could come on too much, or they could come on too much overconfident tomorrow. Don't worry about it. No point in thinking negatively, Ronan, until we see what happens on the field, buddy. Until then, just look at it in a positive sense. It makes life a little bit more bearable if you try and be positive. There's some games, I'm not going to lie, mate, there's some games that always petrify me. I never like playing Leicester City away, for instance. That game always worries me. Charlie, yes, mate, you've talked about something there that I was going to bring up. So once you've brought it up, why not have a conversation around it? And I may have missed it, but I don't see many comments on Jordan Henderson. So do let me know your thoughts on that and the midfield situation as well, guys, while I move on to this situation with FIFA that Charlie's talking about there. Okay, so Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, has said that they've rejected La Liga's plans to play some games in the United States. As we know, Barcelona were supposed to play in Miami, and there was another game as well supposed to take place. The Spanish League had announced that it had signed a 15-year deal with US media company Relevant to promote the game in North America. Now, it seems like La Liga may take this to the Court of Arbitration for Sport because they feel that they should be allowed to play La Liga games on foreign soil. Gianni Infantino and FIFA have said no, it's against the rules, it's against what's written in their articles. I can't remember exactly which article he's talking about, what number it is, but he said it's fairly clearly set out that league games have to be played in the country that the league is in. So, I don't know, let me know what you think. I'm fully behind FIFA on this one. I don't like the idea of league games being played in a foreign country. As much as I'd love Liverpool to play half the league games in Ireland, it just wouldn't be right. I think league games should be played in the country that the league takes place. Now, you could have another tournament that involves games going around the world perhaps, but not for me, not league games. It's a money grab too far as I'm concerned. And I know there's fans around the world that would love to see Liverpool play a couple of games a season in the United States or in South Africa, Australia, Dubai, wherever the hell you are in the world, Ireland even as an example. But let's be honest, if you want to see Liverpool, you want to go and see them at Anfield. That's their home. So I'm with FIFA on this one, and I very rarely agree with a lot of the stuff FIFA say. The rules are there. They're trying to go on a money grab. Barcelona, obviously, they've signed a deal, a 15-year deal, or La Liga. Excuse me, I'm saying Barcelona, that's wrong. La Liga. They signed a 15-year deal with this US company. Well, look, if they didn't look into it and there was any thought that this might not work out, then that's their tough shit. FIFA are the ones that run the game of the world. You can go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, but at the end of the day, I can't really see FIFA allowing it to happen under their jurisdiction. It is interesting though. It's the first kind of challenge to this. It's the first, I believe they're the first league to try and step up and do this. The Premier League has always often talked about the 39th game, or we've had conversations around perhaps playing even the Charity Shield abroad at the end of the season. We see the Premier League Asia Trophy that has come about in the past few years, and other little things like that to try and make pre-season games a bit more competitive. Is moving league games outside the country a step too far? As I said, for me, yes, it is. Lots of love as well and welcomes for Omar, which is beautiful. And this is why I love this group, Omar. This is why I believe this is the best Liverpool fan channel on YouTube, because we have the best subscribers. We have the nicest, most friendliest group of people you could ever wish to meet. And it's why I speak so highly when I'm talking about the channel to anybody else, because you guys are beautiful. You're just amazing people. You're so nice, you're so warm, you're so friendly. You always welcome new people in. You always wish each other well. And this is why this channel is the fucking dog's bollocks, as far as I'm concerned. It's not because of me. I just show up and press a button and yap. It's you guys. It's the subscribers that make the channel. And we have, what, we're heading towards 4,500 subscribers. Well, there's a lot of people missing out on some really good stuff, and I hope that they come and join soon, because this is a Liverpool community. We're a community channel, and it only exists because of the dedication and the support from you guys. So long may it continue. Thank you for that support, and as you guys have said to Omar, welcome. It's great to have you in. Craig, you've seen this link of Firmino to Barcelona rumours. They're going to do the same thing they did with Coutinho. They can fuck right off, said Louis. Somebody mentioned it to me there yesterday. I don't even want to think about it, Louis, if I'm being honest. The thought of it really fucking would petrify me. He's one player I don't want us to lose. And I would say what I've said about anybody else. Nobody's bigger than the club. The club is first and foremost the most important thing. But I hope to God they don't get him. And I hope that God, if they come after him, that this is the one the club just blatantly say, fuck you, it's not happening. He's constantly spoken about how much he loves it here. I know that's easy for a player to say, but we've never quite heard the same things about Barcelona from him or from his camp that we did around Coutinho. I don't know if Barcelona is his dream club or not, but he's got a pretty damn good life here at the minute. He's playing for a club that are doing well in their league. They're on the up and up. We've got to a Champions League final last year. He's playing for one of the best managers in the business. I've no doubt he's going to get paid a very, very good wage with the contract increase that he got during the summer. And he's idolised here by the fans. So I hope it's bullshit, Louis, and I hope he goes nowhere, because I absolutely adore Bobby Firmino. He's my favourite player at the club. Did you see the fan in the crowd giving Mo Salah Thornton's chocolates when he gave her his shirt? Class. I didn't see that, but that's beautiful. The nice chocolates as well, by the way, Thornton's chocolates. That's a beautiful gesture. Well done. Nice one. Henderson's still very important to our setup, said Stephen Richards, which I agree with. He's still a very talented footballer, and he still has a lot to offer, but I do think he is perhaps starting to slide down the scale a little bit. But as you said, he is still very important to us and still a really good player. Worried about this Arsenal surge. They must think they're unbeatable now. It'll be our next proper test, said Martin. I subbed to the channel. I liked it. Thank you very much, Omar. That's very kind of you, mate. Thank you for subbing. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. Martin, getting back to your comment, buddy. Yeah, look, you've got to give them credit. To go on the run that they've gone on, it would be just wrong of us not to say well done to them and to the new manager, but I still think they're weak at the back. They're where we were, I think, a couple of seasons back. They can bang in goals. They've got Lacazette, they've got Aubameyang, two very good players, banging in the goals, left, right and centre, but they're weak at the back, and we know quite how tough it is to get over the line when you're scoring goals, but you can concede a lot as well. So this season might be a step too far for them. I think they need to add a bit more investment in the midfield and in the defence, but there's no denying they're on the up. I don't think they'll be anywhere near the top of the table when it comes to the end of the season. Will they be in the Champions League positions? I don't know. Don't get me wrong, if they're not going to be far off. It's going to be a real battle to get 4 teams out of, I suppose, the 6 really that are there if you include Manchester United. Somebody has to miss out. If we even push Manchester United out of the way, you're still talking Manchester City, Liverpool, Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea, and somebody there has to miss out on a Champions League place. It's going to be tough going, so getting a top 4 place really is tough going these days. So it'll be interesting. The league is tight at the minute. As somebody said earlier on, you often say 10 games into the season is when you should really have your first take at it. I don't know offhand who Arsenal have played. I can't remember. I don't know. Have they had an easy start, a hard start? I don't know. But you cannot deny that the run that they're on is excellent. So let's just wait and see how it pans out. But I wouldn't be worrying about them that much. I'd much more concentrate on Manchester City at this moment in time and let Arsenal go about their business and see how they get on. Allez, 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 said Brian and Missy, the Bulldog Bullies. There you go. Allez, allez, allez. Conquered all of Europe. Look, you're going to make me sing it now. Stop, Craig. We've no time to doubt any game. Got to have this winning mentality throughout the season to get us that league title, said Jay Kismet. I'm with you, buddy. Just think positive the whole way. The fans, the club, the players, We should just walk around with a swagger that we have this unbeatable nature about us. We ain't going to drop points. You come to our gaff, you're going to get your fucking ass spanked and sent home. Even on the road, we're going to be too good for people. That's what we should be thinking. That's what we should be going out there and playing with, that swagger. And I hope last Wednesday, maybe a turning point. I hope that could give the spark to the front three to get their groove back, if that's a good word to use. Shaqiri has been really good. If he can drop in there and continue to pull the strings like that until Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain comes back, and then that gives us another option, although a slightly different option to Shaqiri, in that he's more powerful at how he runs at people. He's a little bit more direct than Xherdan Shaqiri. It's still another good option to have. Christopher McVicker said all league games should be played in the league they're in. That's simple. I agree, Christopher, 100%. I remember when I was younger, there was talk of Wimbledon at the time. They were being managed by Joe Kinnear, and there was talk of Wimbledon coming over here to Ireland and playing their league games in Dublin, and there was talk of a stadium being built out near the Phoenix Park here in Dublin, and that they were going to fly opposing teams over for every game. Obviously they didn't get it. They would have done massive over here in Ireland, by the way. If they could have pulled that one off, they would have got a following immediately, because Irish people would have probably started going to the games just to see the Liverpools and Manchester Uniteds. But as the generations go by, as the years go on, they probably would have built up a pretty big following over here, and they probably wouldn't be in the predicament that they're in. The next proper test is tomorrow, said Ronan. Every game in the Premier League is a test. It's a tough league. There are really not that many easy games. Pepper Red said, Paul O'Connell, I'm from Wolves, so I have no case. Christopher McVicker said, I still honestly think in the future there will be a Super League. I'm with you. I think eventually we're going to see this breakaway league, this pan-European league, or this Super League, whatever you want to call it. It will happen. I think there's going to be a massive legal challenge. You could see a scenario where anyone that goes and plays in this league could be banned from playing for their club or their countries by FIFA. But money talks in this day and age, and if you had a league with even a couple of tiers in it, where you had Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs spread over two divisions in, then you had Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Villarreal, Valencia, then you had Bayern Munich, Hoffenheim, Borussia Dortmund. Throw into that a couple of Dutch teams, throw into that PSG, Monaco, Marseille, Lyon, possibly, I don't know, Nice or somebody. Mix that around, come up with two divisions. I mean, every week there's going to be some cracking games. So the appeal is certainly there. And it's something that is being looked at. It's something that many people believe will happen. But what I'd like to see happen is a lot more fucking simple. I'd like to see us be in a position in the UK and Ireland where we can just buy a package to watch our fucking team every week. That seems so old, so stone age, so fucking wrong that we just cannot. We've had this conversation before. I don't mean to go over old ground, but it just seems wrong that we cannot buy a package to watch 38 Liverpool league games a season, or a Leeds fan can't watch 38 league games, or a United fan can't watch 38 United games. You know where I'm going with it. I understand why. I understand the aspect of Premier League money being shared around, but there has to be another way of doing it, even if it's a fucking add-on or a streaming service, something. It just seems madness that we can't do it in this day and age. Omar said, I hope Salah, Mane and Firmino score tomorrow. I love it when the front three score. That's what I said during the week when we had Bobby score and Salah scored. I was hoping that Mane got his. When he missed the penalty, I thought he'd missed his opportunity, but I was so fucking happy when he scored his goal to get the front three to score. There's something just extra special when the front three score. Pooch Mount said, I don't like that idea either. It's just about money and not thinking about the players or anything else. I know the NFL play games at Wembley, but for European clubs to do it, no. Papot said, gotta go guys, see y'all tomorrow. Cheers Papot mate, I'll talk to you soon buddy, and enjoy your Saturday. If they get millions for it, the clubs will do anything, said Martin Butcher, which is, it's fucking true. Especially when you're at a point where It used to be that they had this blackout on 3 p.m. kickoffs because they wanted people to go to the games, because they wanted the stadiums full, they wanted the teams to get the revenues. And you can understand that, but in an age where TV revenue to football clubs is a lot more than the gate revenue, it means much, much more to them financially than the gate revenues. Pan-European League, or taking the games away from home, the TV money, the extra sponsorship money, you can understand why it would appeal to clubs, and they don't really give a fuck about fans in general, let's be honest. We should know this by now as football fans. We are numbers. We want to feel part of the club, but I think it's more, and not just our club, I mean this about every club. I don't think at the end of the day any of them really give a fuck, or many of them do. It's the fans that make it special. I mean, we're on here talking to each other every night. It's me, it's Paul, Pepper, Damo, Lindsay, Dirty Girl, all of us on here, Stephen, every night chatting to each other. That's what makes this community. And then you've got Redmen TV and all of their fans talking to each other, the Anfield Rap, and all these other Liverpool fans all around the world talking to each other every night, integrating into each other's chat rooms, getting to know each other, passing on messages, information. That's where this family is. The access to the actual club is very rare, and they don't really give a fuck about the fans. And again, I'm not just pointing this at Liverpool, no football club does. It's all about this at the end of the day. We know that. They'll say differently, they'll say all the right things, but the game can't be taken away from the fans, particularly the home fans. And look, we have the conversations around locals versus overseas fans, or locals versus outsiders, and that's a whole other argument. But what we cannot surely argue about is the fact that the city that this club are in, Liverpool, is where the game should be played. Barcelona is where their game should be played. Munich is where their game should be played. If you live there and you can get tickets, that's a whole another argument. But that's where the clubs are from. That's where the club's history is. For me, that's where they should be playing their games. Oh, what's my name? Anfield Agenda, mate. I'm Craig, by the way, buddy. Sorry, I should have introduced myself sooner. My name's Craig. The other guy that runs the channel with me is called Connor, although he's mainly in the background. He's the guy that makes everything tick. I'm just the person that sits in front of here and does the talking. But again, pleasure to meet you, mate. Thank you for subscribing and joining the channel. Actually, it's not a channel, it's a family. It's a group that you're joining here. The game has turned into a multi-billion-pound business. What's this nonsense like playing games in different countries being talked about? Keep the game real. Pepperhead said he's the grand egg of the cosmos, which I'm taking it, mate. I'm having it. The grand egg, that'll do. We're becoming Barca's feeder club. Suarez, Coutinho, no way are they getting Bobby. I mean, I'm gonna make a fucking stand here as well, Paul. They ain't getting him. You can. Alright, that shiny-toothed motherfucker is staying right where he is. Love your channel, bud. Only found it on Wednesday night and thoroughly enjoyed your commentary. Read forever. Said be entertained. That's so kind of you, mate. Thank you. I've received some really nice words about the commentary lately, which it blows me away because I'm only new at it. I'm only having a bachelor. I've been doing this streaming stuff a little bit longer. What, 6 months now or so? Podcasts, yeah, look, that's my bread and butter. That's where I'm from. But it means a lot, mate. Thank you. And I hope you stick with us, and I hope you subscribe to the channel, because as you can see from the chat and the people we have in here, they're a cracking bunch of Reds. And like yourself, you said you're a massive Red. I think you like it here. If you like what I do, then you like the rest of the guys as well. Liverpool are in a great position with their squad, options, formations and opinions with players. Happy days, said Anthony Peters. I fucking love me a bit of positivity, lads. I love coming on here and seeing this stuff. I get on Twitter sometimes and within 10 minutes I feel like banging my head off a wall. I'm so fucking done with some of the negativity on there. And there's some amazing people on there as well. If there wasn't, I wouldn't keep going on there. But on here, when I get to talk to you guys every night, it's a refreshing break. Mo's going to find it hard to reach that number, I think, but he should be in the 20s this season. Gark is streaming Red Dead Redemption 2. What the fuck? Gark is becoming a video game streamer. Yeah, Gark. I don't know. I'd love to go on a Gark rant right now, but I can't. I have to hold back on this one. Let him do what he wants to do. He needs something to keep him happy at this moment in time. His club are fucking shambles. Oh, stop it, Craig. You'll end up doing it. Stop it, stop it, stop it. I don't even know what that was, by the way, Red Redemption 2, until somebody told me earlier on. That's how little a computer gamer I am. Emery's supposed to be interested in Alberto Moreno on a free after working with him at Sevilla. That should sort Arsenal's defence out, said Damo. Yeah, that's it. That'll be the catalyst that turns it all around. He'll definitely be there, Virgil van Dijk. I can understand it though. Yeah, I forgot that they did work together until you mentioned it there. I don't know. I just don't know. Will he grow a ponytail and play in their defence alongside? Is it not Monreal? Who is it that has a ponytail at Arsenal? Bellerin. Will he grow that long hair to play alongside Hector Bellerin? Jay Kismet said, the rail game to me, the fat controller is not making a corny with sleeve sponsors having comical media presentation of games with bet offers throughout. The real game to me, sorry, the fat controller is not making a corny with sleeve sponsors having comical media presentation of games with betting offers throughout. Yeah, look, I like a bet, I have to say, but I don't like these little breaks when you hear You Never Walk Alone being sang, then you get that little 15-second break so you can see what's that fucking actor's name, the English guy, pop up in your face and tell you the best betting offers before the game. I don't like that either, to be honest. There is a little bit too much. I don't mind the shirt sleeve sponsors. I mean, that's not really too intrusive on us fans. If the club can get a few bob for that while not really affecting us, then, you know, so be it. But all this constant in-your-face shit, and when sponsors start intruding into the corner of your screens when you're watching games and stuff, that can all fuck right off. Craig, I think we'll win ugly tomorrow, said Stephen Richards. We've done it before this season, mate, so, you know, don't rule it out. I'm just probably being a bit of an optimist and hoping for a good performance after what we've seen on Wednesday against Red Star. Just call me Christopher, you don't need to say my full name. Okay, Christopher, apologies. It makes my life easier because I'm forever going to call you something else anyway. When I see McVicker, I keep thinking it's something else, so Christopher will do rather nicely. Jay Kismet said, also on the pitch, letting players get stuck in and cutting out players falling over with a slight touch. The way the new offside rule is being handled through the game, the players haven't got a clue what's going on. I'm with you on the offside rule, mate. If you're off when the ball's played, you're fucking off as far as I'm concerned. All this, he wasn't interfering with play nonsense. It's just not for me. I'm old school. If the ball's played and you're in an offside position, to me you're fucking offside. But look, they ain't the rules, so when the rules are so vague or so open to interpretation, then we're going to have arguments, we're going to have disagreements, we're going to have goals where we think things should or shouldn't have happened. And another reason I don't like the offside rule is often at times you see a ball being played through, the player's clearly offside, but the linesman won't put his flag up until the player either goes to touch the ball or runs after the ball and gets close to it. That can sometimes end in a defender making a tackle or a player pulling a hamstring or doing an injury. It just seems like it's leading to another possible scenario where something could happen. Put the fucking flag up, the tackle won't be made. I know it may happen once in 1,000 times, but it's still a chance that a player can come in, crease somebody else, somebody gets injured, and it was absolutely needless because the flag was always going to go up. What you're saying is the Champions League, said Martin Butcher. What you're saying is the Champions League. I get you. I get where you're coming from, mate, but it's not really, because it's not week in and week out. Yes, what you're saying is right. To a degree, I can't really argue with you. I don't want to be arguing with you either. I mean, I want to be just having a conversation, but I get what you're saying, Martin, but it's week in, week out, mate. It's every single week. There's going to be many game weeks is there in the Champions League in a season for us fans. There's 6 league games, so 7, 8. So your club might play 8 games and 9 games if they go really far in the Champions League. Well, if you're in the Pan-European League that we're speaking about, you're going to play, say, 36 games a season, 38 games a season, and you're going to be playing Manchester United, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona every single week. It's a massive, massive game, and the TV companies will be just wetting themselves to show those, and it would make tickets harder to come by again. And there's so many fors and against, Martin, and I get where you're coming from. What we're talking about technically is like a Champions League, but on a much bigger scale. I'd rather see Leeds stay in the Championship, says Liverpool legend. I use streams to watch my game, said Furno. We need to start creating daylight between us and City. I suppose that's impossible to create if they don't drop points. Same as us. Who have they got? Are they playing Spurs on Monday? Am I right with that one? Spurs are playing on Monday. I think they're playing Manchester City. So there's an opportunity there for somebody to drop points. Christopher said, see, I called you Christopher there, didn't go for the second name. Super League, 4 teams from England, Spain, Germany, France, Italy, and then a Division 2 Super League with 4 teams from each of the next 5 leagues in the rankings. You're probably going to get somewhere like that, or even 3 teams with a couple of the lower divisions, or a couple of the lower leagues getting 1 team, or the league champions in the higher division, or something like that. What's happened to Raptor? No idea. I don't think anything's up with him, to be honest, even. I got a message off him yesterday, and I'm sure he was on the stream for a little bit last night. Yeah, nothing. Raptor's all good as far as I know. The Fat Controller said, but sweet Kismet, the Premier League is the biggest sporting league in the world. It needs drama or it will get a bit boring. There you go. I love the depth of discussion on here. Great fan channel and long may it last, said Christopher Barr. Thank you, mate. And again, that's only because of the amazing people that we have in here, the amazing subscribers that are in making these chats happen. Sometimes I like to sit back and just read through stuff as well, because I learn each and every night on here. I've been in and around football since I was 6 years of age, so 31 years now. I played at a decent level. I've done a bit of coaching. I watch a lot of games every week, but I still come on here and learn. It's always good to get another side of somebody's argument. It's always good to get another thought, or open up another thought process, or, you know, sometimes I come on here and I'm adamant about a decision that happened during the game and I'm so sure I'm correct, and then somebody points out to me an aspect of it I haven't looked at, and I can sit back and go, yeah, you know what, you're right. And I think we all have to be open to that as well, which is why football is so fucking beautiful, because a lot of the time it is open to interpretation. I had a conversation on Twitter where I put up a vote for a player of the season so far. So the first one I had James Milner, Joe Gomez, Gini Wijnaldum and other. And I had people voting for some of them, but then I had other people going, he put Milner in the vote, lol, James Milner, lol, what the fuck is Milner doing in there, yada yada yada. So I said, you know what, I didn't put Van Dijk in there, and a few people have said to me he should have been in, so I scrapped that vote. I redid another one. I went with Virgil van Dijk, Gini Wijnaldum, Joe Gomez or other, and of course then I spent the next hour dealing with people going, what, no James Milner, where the fuck is James Milner, he's been player of the season for 4 out of the first 5 games. Then they start throwing stats at me about Milner's average game or average scores being 7.8 or something like that from the Echo, and I just thought to myself, fucking hell, there's just no winning here at times. And I understand where everybody's coming from, but I don't think they understood that I only had 4 options there on Twitter, and one of them always has to be other, to give people a chance to say Robbo or Shaqiri or Salah or however the hell they're thinking. Football, it's a diverse thing. People see it differently. We all look at games. Some of us can see something one way, somebody else can see it a different way, and it's what makes it beautiful, and it's what causes these conversations. It's what causes the arguments or the heated debates in pubs. And it's why no matter what they do with the refereeing system, they're still going to be open to interpretation. Some things are a matter of fact. Did the ball cross the line? Yes, no. Was it a foul? Open to interpretation. Was it a handball? Open to interpretation. Offside? It should be clear, but at this moment in time it isn't. Was it a yellow or red card? Lots and lots of other stuff, which will always keep us in conversation. It'll always keep us debating, and it will make the beautiful game what it is. Gark Mulbridge just goes on and no interaction on chat. It's quantity, or it's quality, not quantity. It's fucking nothing. It's just shite is what it is. It's just shite. Let's just call a spade a spade. I give credit to everybody that does well on here. And I give credit to him for growing his account, but he talks shite and he's a fucking hypocrite. The amount of times he has changed his mind on things. He spent years slaughtering Liverpool and opposition fans, and then builds up his account and all of a sudden wants to become Mr. fucking nice guy and starts talking about how much Salah is better than Sorry, I'm drawing a fucking blank. My mind is gone again. How much Salah is better than the little dude at Chelsea, and he's just going on and on. I love winding players up. I love saying to people that he's not going to be there next year. I love saying to people that Mo Salah is better than him. I love saying that Hazard is a fraud, yada yada yada. So one minute he fucking hates Liverpool fans. He spends so much time going over hate them, fuck Scousers, this, that and the other. And then he came out one day with a statement where he said something along the lines of, I just came to the realisation that opposition fans don't have to be enemies. Maybe we can all get along. And I just thought, just fuck off, Gark. Tell the truth. You got to where you are. You've made your fucking dramatic account where you overreact to things and you say things to get a reaction. It worked well for you. Congratulations on that one. But don't be a fucking hypocrite. Just be honest and call it like it is. And he's shit as well, by the way. He's shit at what he does. I'll say that one for him. He can hold a conversation. There's not many people I can see that can look at a camera and continuously talk for 30 or 40 minutes about a subject, but that's just because I don't think he's got anybody else to talk to in the world. So I firmly believe that him, his teddy bears and his mother don't really have much time to have other conversations. So when he gets in front of a camera, I think he gets a chance to let the world know and feel like a demigod and sit there and give out his views. And look, he's got a lot of fans, so fair fucks to him, but I ain't one of them, and I'm never going to be, and I'm never going to be a fucking hypocrite. I don't like him. I respect the channel he's built up, but I don't respect how he's built it up. And yeah, let's just leave it at that, because that's too much of it. I promised no more Gareth Mulbridge stuff. And for anyone who Gareth Mulbridge is, it's Mark Ulbridge. I just spin it around because I don't want to get banned. Goldbridge DT argument on which channel? Don't even get me started on Mr. fucking DT either. Yeah. Mr. fucking... No, I'm not talking about DT. I've already gone on about Goldbridge. I'm not going to talk about Mr. DT. Well, what was Lucas' favourite part of our holiday? Said Damo. Air holiday. I was thinking, where the fuck is Damo? His favourite part's always SeaWorld, Damo. We love SeaWorld. I know some people have strong opinions on SeaWorld. I'll leave that to everybody else, but Lucas, he absolutely loves it. Good night, Omar, by the way. Talk to you soon, buddy. Tyson Fury on the Joe Rogan podcast. I need to give that a listen, said Mr. RJC. It's the very thing I'm going to be doing when I finish this stream, mate. I'm going to be listening to that myself. The wage and fee cap would have universal decision and not just in England. The game is slowly losing control and players being larger than a club is a sign of that, said Jay Kismet. Sounds like you need a vote to see who's going in the vote. Exactly. You almost need to have knockout votes to get into the vote. The reason I love this channel is because the subscribers are very kind and will always make me laugh. And I told Craig the biggest shock of my life and he gave me confidence to say something, said Lindsay. I don't know what to say to that. You're right. And not about me, I mean about everybody else on the channel. And why not? It's a lot easier to be nice to people. It comes back around to you in the long term as well. I said this before, I'm a massive believer in positivity. You put positive stuff out there, surround yourself with positive people, and I believe positive things will come back to you. It's probably the most hippie-ish thing I have in my life. I'm not at all religious. I'm not sentimental even. There's so many things that I should not believe in that I just don't believe in actually. But this one thing is something that I've practiced and I find through. Put positive stuff out there, treat people well, and it'll come back to you. And if it doesn't, you've done the right thing. So it's win-win. I tend to watch Gark after a smoke. The guy's an idiot and makes me laugh a lot, said Mr. RJC. I still can't fathom this whole thing, and this has nothing to do with Mark Ulbridge. This is just in general. I don't get the whole gamer thing. I don't get sitting there watching people playing games. I can't get my head around that. Call me an old fucking dinosaur. And you could say the same thing to me. I don't understand why people are on here listening to you talking about football. And you know what? I'd say to you, I get you. I understand it. But at least there's opinion. Maybe with gaming I'm looking at it wrong. Maybe comment on someone's game and his interest. I don't know. It just, to me, I look at it. I look at Twitch. And look, the skill involved in the gaming. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole other level. Massive love to those guys that put the hours in to play the games, but it's the watching part. It's just, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Garrick's meltdowns are comedy gold, said Pepper Red. Yeah, but I think a lot of them are fake. That's the thing. I don't really believe a lot of his meltdowns are real. The Lil dude at Chelsea, another classic line from our legend Craig. I couldn't think of his name. Hazard just went there for a minute. You guys know I've got a memory like a fucking sieve. Craig, what do you think about the Martial situation at United? I love him. I love him at Liverpool. Not gonna lie, Brian. I think he's a quality player. He's got his contract is up in the summer, but there's another year that they can trigger on the contract in the clause. So he's another 18 months left. I hope they don't sort it out. I hope they don't sort De Gea's contract out, and I hope they won't leave, because Martial is going to turn into a fucking superstar, and I hope that's not at Manchester United. I hope he isn't happy with how he's been treated, but what could well happen here is Mourinho may get the boot. Another manager might come in, he may get on with Martial, and they may be able to get him to sign a new deal. So let's just wait and see how it plays out. But I won't lie, he's a very, very good footballer. Craig, when you watch the Fury Rogan interview, you'll want him to win against Wilder. I already do want him to win against Wilder, Stephen, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I respect him. I respect the fuck out of him. To some of his views, I mean, on religion and life and other things that I don't agree with whatsoever, but it's not about that. This is about boxing, and Tyson Fury is an excellent boxer. I mean, for a man of what, 6'7", 6'8", to have the footwork and being as heavy as he is, and I know he slims down for fights, to have the footwork that he does, to be able to make Vladimir Klitschko look so bad, and people could say that Klitschko didn't show up that night, but that's not giving the credit to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury made Vladimir Klitschko look bad. He made him miss. He obviously won the fight. Has he got a suspect jaw? Well, we see Steve Cunningham, who was basically a cruiserweight, put Fury on his ass, but Fury got back up and he won the fight. Anybody can be put down with a good shot on the chin. We all know Wilder has that. We know Wilder's capable of that, but I honestly think Fury wins that fight. Many people will tell me I'm wrong. I just think Tyson Fury is massively underestimated by a lot of people. And for me, the big money fight has never been Wilder and Joshua. It's always been Fury and Joshua for me. That is the big fight. That's the one I want to see. And I think the longer Joshua's career goes on, the better chance he has of beating Fury. But if that fight were to take place after, say, this fight, if he goes and beats Wilder and then goes, I know Wilder would have a rematch clause, but let's just say, for instance, he doesn't take it, and that fight then goes on. I mean, it's a coin toss for me. A coin toss. There you go. A coin toss for me. Fury and Joshua. If Joshua gets a few more fights, 3-4 more fights under his belt, I'd probably lean towards Joshua. But if they had to fight tomorrow, I wouldn't want to call it. A lot of people say Joshua will win that hands down, but don't underestimate the boxing ability of Tyson Fury. He is accomplished. Dude knows how to move. For a big man, he can dance. Let's just say that. Although, I don't want to just diss Wilder either, because there's nobody as awkward, there's nobody as explosive, and there's nobody that can get across a ring in such a dynamic, fucked up way than Deontay Wilder. So, three great heavyweights. Lots to look forward to, and I can't wait for that fight. Craig, what about the two same-sex penguins that had a chick? I don't know, man. That's not my pay grade. Reckon we should try for Martial if he can come here next summer. We're never going to get him. United unless that we wait until the 18 months is up and got him on a free, but United would do everything they can not to let him get near Liverpool, but I'd love him. Craig, have you seen the Twitter account Goldberg's World on Twitter? No, that's an account I follow. I will admit to that one. Yes, Louis, I've seen Goldberg's World, and I admit it, I follow that account because I love the attitude of the guy that runs the account, and I love the way it's run. I don't know who runs the account, I've got to be honest on that one, but it makes me laugh, it makes me chuckle, so yeah, I admit it, I do definitely follow that account. It's because he's bad at games and he gets mad, it's funny. He's bad at life. I mean, he lost all credibility for me when that holiday fiasco happened, when he was on there pretending to be on the beach, Well, he was on the beach pretending to be fucking getting hassled by a fella sounding through and saying that he pulled a knife on him. I mean, let's be honest. Come on. We all know. He pulled a knife on Gark and you could smell the shit from here. Honest to God. You could smell him shit his pants from here. There's no way he's going to be talking to somebody like that if they pulled a knife on him. I mean, we all like to think we're hard at times, but somebody pulls a knife on you, your fucking expression changes very quickly. You don't carry on being a dismissive, arrogant prick that he was being on camera, so he's full of it. You're an OG on the channel if you remember when Gareth came onto the stream one day. I do. I didn't even know it was really him at first. I thought it was one of you guys on a wind up, and then somebody said no, that's actually his account. But I think he was fairly complimentary. He said something along the lines of, oh, another Liverpool channel. Then he checked the sub and he said doing quite well, seems like a decent channel. Whatever, don't care. I'd love to sit down. I'd love to have a debate with him. I'd even do it off camera so people don't think I'd be doing it for follows or for likes, because I'd love to get inside the dude's head and know what he's really like, because I think he's as false as they come. He joined with his United Stand account as well. Yeah, I know, that's how bad it was. That's how little I realised. Like, I just should have noticed it was the real account, but it wouldn't have mattered either way. It wouldn't have changed a thing. I'm not a fan of Wilder. Decent enough boxer, strange personality. Yeah, I go each way with Wilder. That sounds weird. I go each way with Wilder. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I don't. But I think underneath it all, he's a decent dude. Juve after De Gea on a reduced fee this summer or on a free next summer. Jose said he's not confident that De Gea will renew his contract, fingers crossed. I seen that comment from Mourinho, and yeah, as you're right there, my fingers crossed he fucks off. They ain't going to replace him. They did great business when they brought in De Gea. They're never going to get a keeper like that again. Well, I say never, that's the wrong. It's going to be very, very tough for them to replace that with De Gea. I just like watching heads get twatted. Wilder does that, said Pepper Red. He does. 37 fights, 36 KOs, I think. He says he's knocked out everyone he's fought because he got to knock out Bermain Stavern after. He didn't the first time, he did the second time. Although, to be fair, Stavern was in some fucking state when he fought him the second time. But he was rocked by Ortiz, and look, Wilder had the chin to come back, but Ortiz had him in trouble as well, and Ortiz is over the hill. Did you see what Wilder did to that mascot on TV? He fully punched him and apparently broke his jaw. Didn't he say something like he didn't think there was somebody inside it or something like that? I mean, who the fuck did he think? What did he think was inside the mascot? For those of you who haven't seen it, Google it. Just Google Deontay Wilder punches mascot or something. It's fucking hilarious. Not for the poor guy that got a punch, but Sanchez looks a right field now, doesn't he? Going from one shy team to another. At least he got a massive payday out of it. I mean, United really look like the fools in this situation. At least Alexis Sanchez can sit there and collect his, 350 grand a week or something like that. Ferno said, I run Goldbridge World. If that's true, mate, congratulations. I don't know. He said joking. I wish you fucking did. I'd love to know who does run it. Craig, what do you think about Arsenal fans calling Hector Bellerin a lesbian? Disgusting. This is all I can say. If they're saying that about their own fucking player, regardless of the disgusting nature of the comment, just to belittle one of their own players, I mean, fuck them. Fuck them. There's a lot of scumbag football fans out there, and I'm not going to tar all Arsenal fans with the one brush, because I know a lot of Arsenal fans that are decent people. And Chelsea fans, I will say fuck you, fuck all of you except Connor's girlfriend Kira, because she's a nice girl. But, you know, all the Chelsea based fans, fuck all of you as far as I'm concerned. You're all dirt, singing about Liverpool fans everywhere, or Liverpool players every time. Even when we're not fucking playing, you're singing about Gerrard. But Arsenal fans, you know, they're not the worst of the lot. Well, the ones I know anyway. I mean, everybody I'm sure has come across some fans from every club who act like idiots. There's also a strange so-called Liverpool fan who's a resident on United Stand. I don't watch much of the United stand. Sometimes I see a clip pop up on my Twitter feed and I'll click on it if it looks like it's going to be funny, but other than that, I don't go out of my way to look at him. One thing I'll give him credit for, actually, I've said that he's built up a nice account. He has, and he has one of the nicest. He was one of the first ones actually to really do up the screen imagery that you see that we're using here and stuff like that. The OBS stuff, the green screen background and things like that. He's one of the first to do that, and he done it very well. So I'll give him credit on that one. But that's, I've given him enough niceties now. Craig stand versus or United stand versus Anfield Agenda, kick Gark back to his mummy. I've seen people say before there was this whole argument around Mark Goldbridge versus DT in a fight, who would win. Well, look, let's be honest. I mean, nobody would fight Mark Goldbridge because it would be like kicking a puppy. It would. It would be like picking the weakest fella out of your class and just bending him over and constantly kicking him in the bollocks, because he is just like a little puppy. I have my own thoughts on DT that I'll talk about another day, but as for a fight, you don't need to fight. Fighting's for people who have nothing to say, and for people who are actual fucking warriors, like, can get in the ring and fight. People professionally fight superstars, but people who resort to violence are generally people that don't have a high intelligence and don't have anything to say for themselves and just lash out. But no, I would fight Gark. Come on, it'd be like just bitch slapping a puppy. Owen McKeever has joined. Owen, how are you, sir? He would get owned in a debate, Craig. He just flip-flops all the time. He does. He absolutely does. Says one thing, Jose in, Jose out. Give Jose a chance, don't give Jose a chance. Fuck Liverpool fans. I like Liverpool fans. He says whatever he thinks will get fucking likes, follows and views. Brian Morrissey said, evening all, bit late to the stream. What's the crack? 4-0 win tomorrow. Do you know what? That seems to be my prediction every week at this point, Brian. I'm going to go 3 tomorrow for me. I'm going to go 3-0 for the Reds tomorrow. Mane to score. Other than that, I don't know. But I'm going for a 3-0 win, because if I say 4 again, I'll just sound like a broken record. Let's give Mouldy Fridge a break. He's having a hard time at the moment. Fuck him. Hope it continues for him. Fuck him. It must be a small amount of Arsenal fans. Most of them are decent, said Ferno. You know what? That's generally been my view of Arsenal fans as well. They're not the worst of the bunch from my experience. Look, Arsenal Fan TV. Oh, no, we're not allowed to call it that anymore, are we? AFTV. That gave us some fucking hilarity over the years. And I don't like channels like that. I don't like channels that look to bring out the worst in their own fan base. It's cleverness, I get the idea behind it, but for me it's not my cup of tea. Bet Roy Hodgson was tempted to punch Watford's Harry the Hornet mascot after he kept diving on the touchline behind Zaha. Fucking legend. That was brilliant though. I love shit like that. Why do people moan about stuff like that? Have a sense of humour. The Hornet's a legend, God bless him, diving on the fucking touchline like that. Brilliant stuff. If I was Zaha and I seen the mascot doing that, I'd go up and I'd give him a hug after the game and I'd say fair play, because that's proper banter. Craig, you should have seen the comments on Wilder's post. People were saying, how the fuck did you not realise no one was in there? It's ridiculous. Punching a fucking mascot and then thinking it was a robot or something, like absolute madness. Arsenal is the most hated club in the top 6 for me. I'd say we are, mate, at this moment in time, as mad as that sounds. I don't know if it's hated, worried about, obsessed about, but there's a lot of fucking people don't like Liverpool at this moment in time, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Sanchez is on 75k just per appearance. That's 75 grand just for starting, basic wage on top of that. I think he's on a guaranteed 350k a week or something, but I could be wrong. I just remember reading something like that. Corey Shelley says, I'm going to the game tomorrow. Nice one, buddy. If you know of any spares, let Connor know. And God, who was the other person that wanted spares? Oh my God, how can I not remember? I'm gonna have to get this open. There was somebody else looking for spares as well that had gone all the way over from Dublin and had been let down. So if there are any spares going tomorrow, either contact Connor at ConArtistLFC, or let me just get this right because I hate the fact that I've missed this. Where is it? Delcroft. Yes, sorry, it was Delcroft. So if anyone has any or hears of any tomorrow, Delcroft has gone over with his child from Ireland. They were let down. They went over on the belief that they had tickets to the game. They've been let down badly. So if anyone hears of a couple of tickets tomorrow floating around, even maybe last minute, have a look up on Twitter, find Del on there, check the Anfield Agenda account. We've retweeted his post asking about the tickets. If anybody can help them out, please do. This isn't just a normal ticket bag. This isn't just somebody looking for tickets on the off chance. The dude has travelled with his child over from Ireland for the game only because they were told the tickets were there for them and they've been let down. I know it happens to other people as well. I just know Dell's a good lad, and if anybody can help him out, it would be great. Facility time said, give homophobia the red card. Absolutely right, mate. No fucking place for it. No place for homophobia, no place for racism, no place for religious hate either. Just let everybody be everybody. Let everyone do their fucking thing and shake everybody's hand, wish everybody the best. Until people interfere in your life, leave them be. I mean, I've got love for everybody. I don't understand the hate. I don't understand the prejudging of somebody. I don't care if somebody's Islamic. I don't care if they're black. I don't care if they're black, gay, Islamic. I don't care if they're Russian. I don't care if they're Irish, English, Catholic, Protestant. You're always going to get a hug from me. You're always going to get a shake of my hand. I'm always going to look you in the eye and give you an opportunity because you're a fucking human. We're all human beings. Everybody's good natured. Everybody deserves a chance. Nobody's better than anybody else. I fucking hate stuff like homophobia and racism. It drives me demented. It's cowardice. It's disgusting. That's all I've got to say. I mean, we could talk about this for a long time, but I don't even want to give it the airtime because it doesn't deserve it. Alexis is on 500k. Craig said, Ferno, fucking hell. 500 fucking G's a week. Jesus Christ. Not worried about us because we're back. The red juggernaut. There you go, mate. Damn right we're back. If Connor's in Liverpool, he should just rock up. I bet there'll be one for sale, said RJC. I think so as well. I said to him, I don't know if his girlfriend's with him. I said to him to head down to the stadium or go into the 12th man or something and try and get himself a couple of tickets. 500k before tax, 350 after tax, 75k appearance bonus, probably another 30k goal bonus. Brian Morrissey said for Sanchez. That's ridiculous. Fucking hell. Will said, per guy with regards to Delcroft, hope he gets some tickets. Liverpool big arse kicking game tomorrow, said Vinnie Johnson. Hell yeah. With all due respect to Cardiff, we should be giving them a beating tomorrow. When I was 14, I remember laughing at David Icke on the Wogan show. Wow, that's changed, said Pepper Red. It's mad to think that we would run around as kids and call others gay as an insult, not really knowing the full meaning. It is. You're right, mate. And the eeny, meeny, miny, mo as well. How many of us said that the politically incorrect way or just the wrong way? Sorry. We now go catch a tiger by the toe, or there are many things that have changed over time, and it never made them right in the first place. But what I don't get is, we've seen a couple of instances where people have been pulled up for stuff that happened in the past at a time when that stuff was widespread. I don't mean acceptable, and I'm not talking about homophobic stuff, and I'm not talking about religious stuff, and I'm not talking about sexist stuff, but there's just been some instances of things that weren't as big an issue or as big a deal back in 1970 or 1980s as they are today, and people are suddenly getting pulled on that stuff. That stuff makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but you're right, we all did it as kids. We all ran around, we all said exactly the phrase you're talking about there. Yeah, it's a different world, and it's a better world for the way we are these days, to an extent. I mean, freedom of speech, I think, has taken a little bit of a beating. That's a different conversation, and that's got nothing to do with what we're talking about here. Brian Morrissey said, hope you all voted tonight, lads. Blasphemy has no place in today's society. Of course, in Ireland today, there was the blasphemy vote to remove it from the constitution, to remove it, and there was also the vote for the presidential election here in Ireland, which is fucking meaningless as far as I'm concerned with regards to the presidency. Although I do like L. Michael D, little L man, looks like a proper Irish president, tiny little fella. Wisdom eventually reaches some of us. Homosexuality, I believe, is just a byproduct of the soul living multiple times. How's that for deepness? That's pretty deep. Pepper Red, mate. The way I look at it is, if you're homosexual, you're a man that loves a man, you're a woman that loves a woman, it's about love. You love somebody. How can love be wrong? Liverpool 6, Cardiff 0, said Paul tomorrow. That'll do. Do you know what, guys? It's been a nice long stream, actually. I didn't realise what time it was, so why don't we call it a night right there? It's been good fun. Great. Lots of topics covered tonight, actually. We've done really well here. I will see you guys tomorrow at 2:30 for the pre-match show, and then, of course, we'll do the watch-along of the game. We've got a few new people joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure to meet you. I hope you guys continue to enjoy the channel and come back. Guys, before you head off, please drop a like on the video. Our numbers have been going down on the likes lately. Maybe it's because I'm not fucking saying it as much, but if you have a second before you head off, please do drop a like on the video. And of course, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be back at 2:30 for that watch along tomorrow, and for anyone that's new, that's free. Everything on our channel is free. All our content is free. It always will be free, because we believe it should be. Until then, guys, thank you so much for everything tonight. Thank you for the well wishes towards Sabrina and Lucas, and up the motherfucking Reds.